Hello, how is everybody tonight? We are in Wisconsin still, and it is still hot up here.
You think?
It was 64 day before yesterday. Nice,
It was
clear
nice
blue
last
sky.
night.
Last night it was probably in the 60s. It was great. But
No.
today it is 97 with a heat index of around 102, 104. It's still not that much humidity though, because I was in the shade today, down for a while, and the shade, it was still not as bad humidity as it is down south. But with gas hitting high like it is, and diesel is running right around 5.59 up here a gallon. We are sitting tight for a little bit longer. We're actually going to be here long enough for my daughter to go to Alaska and
Would she leave Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
What day is she taking me to Father's Day thing?
Saturday morning.
She leaves Saturday.
Saturday afternoon. About 3 o'clock. So she's taking you with her on Saturday morning for Father's Day. Stop.
Yeah, she's picking me up. Me and her are going out to eat Saturday morning for Father's Day, and Dina gets to stay home with the dogs. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, I imagine it is hot in Atlanta too. It's been hot everywhere. They said they had extreme heat warnings everywhere. Maggie's over here looking for her ball that has dropped down. Gracie wants up here. You can hear her whining. She wants up here on the thing between us. And one second here. I've been trying to sell some stuff online, and I get people being in on me. That's when it was making a noise here. Okay, hold on just a minute.
All right, guys. So
We talked about
Tijae.
Tijae.
Yeah,
Tijae. Last
Tijae.
time on here, we wanted to bring her up again. Her family, I wish I could talk to her family. I just,
If anybody knows how to get in touch with the mother
yeah,
or
if they
the family
want
member, tell them to
them
get
to
in touch with
email
us.
it's
He's got some good ideas.
they're leading some. Every time I see on the news, they are got these chants of no justice, no peace, and a lot of that thing. And that may be working for them, but I really believe they need to pursue uh, a different avenue. But that's just my opinion. But I would love to talk to them and see if they want to come on the show too. I think one of the things is, if I was her, I'd be speaking directly to the people that I believe have her. We're getting buffed again. I can't believe it. We moved our satellite up closer to the front of the RV so that thinking we could get through some of those trees, but we're still not in ideal conditions. But I think it's some of the stuff they're doing is getting kind of mixed up with us other things. It's hard.
They're biting off their nose in spite of their face in some areas.
Yeah, I mean, why chant no justice, no peace? Why not chant, let's find her or remember her name? I just think there's another way to go around it. It's getting mixed up in all that other stuff. To me, it is anyway, but that's what it is. We want to remind you, if she's a college student from New York City, rode a bus to Washington, D.C. on May 1st. Her mama got a mysterious phone call for help, hasn't been able to hear from her since. And now it's a month later, and the family is desperate to find her. They're back. She was a student. She gets on the phone. She says, "Help me! I need help." So obviously, I think she was probably, her mom and them think she's involved in some type of cult. I think she probably got human trafficked.
I do too.
That sounds like she got into something she didn't want to be into from the first place. That is her picture. She's a very beautiful young lady.
And just graduated.
Just graduated, smart, and she could easily be pulled into that lifestyle.
Because she was just looking for a job.
Right. And the fact is that she's probably been held against her will for sure. She pleaded in a whisper on the phone from a Maryland nail salon to her mother to come get her now. So she was involved. She was probably around some people that were trying to make her do some stuff that that she didn't want to be involved in. New York City police are looking for her, and they are making some noise. The family is up there, but I just believe that they could a different way if it was me. Said that she filed a police report on May 2nd, but believes her disappearance isn't being prioritized and has filed additional reports, and her mother is placing missing posters around in New York and in D.C. Listen, it's not probably that she's not being prioritized. I think that, with everything, they have a huge crime problem in the outskirts of D.C. They have robberies and rapes and murders, violence of all types and sorts. And it's not that the police are not taking it seriously or prioritizing, but there's probably several thousand missing people inside DC, and you can kind of get lost in that. And I think I would just do it from a different angle. That's my opinion. I don't know. We want to bring in some other stuff here.
Maggie Hush.
This is a guy that I want to talk about, and it's not a pleasant thing to talk about, but we talk about all of these hikers that have gone missing, haven't seen a trace of them. Well, this guy right here this is a serial killer that was stalking hikers on various trails around the United States.
Oh my gosh.
In the South primarily. He is under arrest now. He's on death row, I believe, right now in Florida. But he would kill hikers and decapitate them as a part of his, and happened between 2005 and 2008. Gary Hilton. But I got to reading about this guy, and it was pretty gruesome. This first girl, 24 years old, recently graduated from University of Georgia with honors, had a bright future ahead of her until she met Gary Hilton. Said that the pair crossed paths New Year's Day 2008 while Emerson was hiking up Blood Mountain in Chattahoochee National Forest with her dog. Horrifyingly, Emerson was found decapitated 4 days later, while Hilton was quickly apprehended and soon revealed that Emerson wasn't the first victim and wasn't even the first time he decapitated someone. This is harrowing story of Gary Hilton, National Park serial killer. This is why I say we should never hike alone. Man, woman, whatever. You see this right there. Maggie is just, I don't know what it is about when her ball's hitting down there and she can't get to it. Okay. Says Gary Hilton's grisly crimes, born in 46 in Atlanta, Georgia. Gary Michael Hilton allegedly had a turbulent childhood, young adult, joined the United States Army, became capable paratrooper, was experienced schizophrenia episode, and was honorably discharged. by the time he met Emerson the day of 2008, he had already 3 failed marriages under his belt. He had been arrested for drunk driving, carrying a gun without a license, drug possession, and 21 counts of solicitation. But he had also dismembered and decapitated at least 3 other people. This guy's he was a sicko. His first victim, 26-year-old hiker, and on December the 7th, 2005, near Mindy, near Bryson City, North Carolina, a shopkeeper told police that it's Melania very nervously entered her store with Hilton, who is claiming that he was traveling preacher. They reportedly brought some clothes and left. Hilton later stole her bank card and beat her to death. This is the girl. Let me see if I can get it to come up here. The girl with her dog. I mean, she was just straight out of college or out of high school. Thing it says she took her first victim, 26-year-old hiker Rosanna, on December 7th, 2005, near Bryce City, North Carolina. Told police that Milana very nervously entered the store with Hilton, who was claiming to be traveling preacher. They reportedly brought some clothes and left. Hilton later stole Melina's bank card and beat her to death. I mean, this guy is a sick individual.
TS says there's a 10 to 11-year-old little boy named Levi Frady who was kidnapped and found decapitated near the North Georgia mountains. I've always been convinced he did it.
Yep, no doubt. He followed up the murder with a far more brutal one in 2006, when he became the 46-year-old Sunday school teacher of Cheryl Dunlap, reading by her car outside Florida's Apalachicola National Forest. Hilton killed her and left her decapitated body by the highway. His crimes escalated the next day to he killed and dismembered 3 more hikers across North Carolina and Florida, including an elderly couple, Irene and John Bryant. Hilton and then took her husband on a joyride to various ATM machines before shooting him in the head. Their bodies were also dismembered, viciously dismembered, and this is where they had him in cuffs, taking him into custody. I mean, you know, if you saw him on the trail, you maybe think this is an old guy, harmless old guy.
Yeah, you said always hike with somebody. The husband and wife were together. They were no match.
Yeah, they were older though, elderly. This said maybe. He also explained to authorities that he had forced Emerson to carry with him
camp
with him for days, promising he would let her go if she gave him her bank information. Emerson refused and tried to make an escape, but she lost her footing during a life or death struggle with Hilton, who was able to bludgeon her to death. He had decapitated her, leaving her body covered in leaves and brush. Hilton also stated that he could not bring himself to kill her dog. He said, killing Emerson, it was hard. You got to remember, we had spent several days together. That's amazing, though. I mean, he couldn't kill her dog.
The hustler wanted to print the crime scene photos of his Georgia victims.
Hold on a second here. Authorities were alerted to Hilton when a former police officer told local cops searching for Emerson that he had seen a gray-haired man in his 60s on the same trail as her that day. Hilton confessed that Emerson was dead and told authorities where her body would be, and if they protected him from the death penalty. When he revealed her location, he was ominously, the head was missing. He said ominously the head was missing. He was ultimately sentenced to life in prison in 2008, but while he was linked to 4 of his prior murders and charged accordingly. Hope he did get the death penalty. I think that's what I read. He's suspected involved in several other murders. However, a lack of evidence has made it impossible for prosecutors to move ahead in those cases. Despite the deal he tried to cut with prosecutors, Hilton is currently awaiting execution on Florida's death row. That's good. Florida, they do a lot of death cases, and they
After reading
follow
about
through.
Gary Hilton, learned about serial killer Edmund Kemper, then read 21 serial killer quotes that will chill you to the bone.
Okay, and
Maggie,
this, what is her
I
problem?
don't know. I don't see what she is searching for.
All right, this is the other guy that's been Marc Russell. What is that? Mark.
What is it, Maggie?
Hold on, I'll get his full name in just a second.
Show me.
But this is the tattoos he's got and a goatee, but he's been missing for about a year. His full name here, if I can get this thing here. Marc Randall Fullerton, he's 35 years old. Last person known to see him was his girlfriend, Ashley Palmer, on 6/3/2020 in her house. And I can't pronounce that, Missouri, 2 hours before dark. Her statement is, we also know his wallet, phone, shoes, truck, keys were still in her house. She says he vanished while she was in the bathroom throwing up. Mark and his parents' only child. He's a dad of 2 boys. He's a friend to many, and we will search for answers until we find out what happened to him. Whomever knows something, you must come forward, because we're not going to give up until justice is served. And the one thing they said about this case was, apparently this case happened on some type of college campus. Is that what you read?
No, it was near a college campus.
Near college campus. And the house, they found blood in the house, police did, and they found a necklace that was broken that he used to wear around his neck.
He always wore.
And his mama said he would not have been without that necklace. So there was some evidence of a struggle inside the house, but the police never collected any or declared it a crime scene and never collected any evidence.
The refrigerator, the blinds were busted down in the kitchen. There was blood everywhere. There was, in the refrigerator, the shelves had been torn down. It was obvious that there was a battle in there. And on the stove was sitting some Clorox and something else. I forgot what it was, which that right there tells you they're trying to clean up the blood.
Yeah. 5'11". Can you read that, Dana? I can't hardly read it for some reason. My eyes.
He was missing June 3rd, 2020. So he's been gone almost a little over 2 years. 150 pounds. He was 35 at the time. The thing, if you go through and look at some of his pictures, he had the most beautiful eyes. And they keep posting on Facebook that they hope whoever has done away with him or done something to him to make him not call home, that every time they close their eyes, they see they see his eyes. There's a $20,000 reward being offered for the information leading to the location of Mark Fuller and the arrest and
Here it goes now. Let's see. This is okay. I don't have much information about that other than the police apparently did feel like they had a crime scene.
I don't. That makes absolutely.
No
and he
sense.
was a father. He had tattoos all over him. Let's see. There's several Facebook pages.
Yeah.
About him.
And this is another case. This is Heaven Kaler. She's reported missing on June 24th, 2021 in Fort Scott. I think it's Arkansas. 5'8", 135, blue eyes, sandy brown hair. Very, very little I can find out at all about what happened. Maybe started out as a
Here's one of the pictures.
runaway, but I don't know.
You can't see it. It says, "Do you see me in your sleep?" That was one of the pictures.
I think that's the family's trying to drum up some information. And what they ought to do, the DA ought to come out and say, we'll give immunity to somebody, first person that
Look
cooperates.
at those eyes. Now let me read you what it says. He's been missing 2 years and there's still not been an arrest made for the disappearance of him. His girlfriend and 2 other people all said they did not see Mark, even though he was supposed to be right outside. None of the 3 have even considered he might be missing, but all of Mark's belongings were still there. Mark's phone, his keys, his truck, his medicine, his glasses, his cash, his credit cards, his wallet was there. His necklace he always wore was broken on the floor. He had no socks, no shirt, and no shoes. And even the police said it looked like a struggle or a fight had taken place. There was also blood in many rooms. The kitchen alone, there was blood on the overturned table. All the shelves in the refrigerator were broken out and laying in the floor. The top half of the mini blinds behind the sink were also broken. There was a roll of duct tape and bleach sitting on the stove. Police did not make the resident a crime scene and contain the scene and evidence. Mark is only considered a missing person. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, it must be a small town. That's all I can say.
I agree. Somebody on here said the FBI needs to step in. This is absolute. I cannot believe they dropped the ball like that.
Only thing about that, and we talked about this before, the FBI cannot come in to a scene like this unless they can prove that it crossed state lines or a government body's involved. The FBI just can't automatically step in. They've got to commit a federal crime for them to come in, unless the local department asks for the federal assistance.
All right, listen to this.
To look at various things.
Mark was living with his girlfriend when he disappeared. Her house was in a shambles, like something had happened there. The girlfriend did not report him missing. Mark's mother called the police when she could not talk to him on the phone. Mark talked to his mother daily. He was only in a relationship with this woman for about 1 month. All of his belongings were still at her house, but he was gone, including his truck, his keys, his shoes, his wallet, and he even wore every time they close their eyes. God knows where he is. God knows where his body is if he's not alive. And just that would make me think he's not alive.
It sounds like there's two other people there. It sounds like that they were going to rob him or something, and it turned out bad. You know,
I think so.
or
There's
or
a
maybe
Facebook page.
maybe he was looking into he
See
found
that?
out, stumbled on something illegal they were doing.
I don't care. You know, he can be covered in tattoos, ear piercings, and everything else. He still had a mother. He still has a child. He still deserves, if he is dead, he deserves a grave that his child and his mother can go to.
What is wrong
If
with you,
he's
Maggie?
alive, then God knows. He's such a handsome young man.
Yeah. And I was mentioning this. Heaven Kaler, I've looked at, tried to find anything else about her, how she went missing. Nothing. But, you know, she's been missing since June 24, 2021. And unfortunately, that's right in that looking age group to be put into human trafficking.
There's another girl that's missing called Heavenly Trinity.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Did you see that?
This says missing. This is
Dylan
Rounds, a $20,000 reward for him. He's last seen on 5/27/22 in Montevallo, Nevada. He's from Lucent, Utah. He's 19 years old, 5'10", 160 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. And the thing about this is they are investigating this case as a possible abduction or kidnapping.
They found his shoes.
They found shoes.
That we saw that today.
But this says here, all of Dylan's vehicles were found on his farm in Lucent, Utah. Only thing missing was his wallet and phone. Foul play is suspected. Search parties are being conducted, and please report any information to the contacts below, and that is Box Elder County Sheriff's Office for tips and information. And you know what basically he said all he ever wanted was to have a farm, a place of his own.
He was young.
And he was very young. I have some more information on that. It says here that new evidence has been found in a strange disappearance of a 19-year-old whose family believes he was kidnapped from a remote location. Dylan Rounds has been missing 2 weeks at this time and was last seen in Montello, Nevada, or Nevada, as y'all say it out there, I think. They say Nevada, we say Nevada. Working in on the family's farm 60 miles away from his home in Utah. And his 19 went missing on Memorial Day weekend. He was last seen on his family farm in Nevada. Take a look at that kid's photo. And this is a picture basically of the area where he was. His teen's mother said the police found boots near the camper shortly after he was missing. So right in here, he was staying on this camper. And, you know, I don't know what kind of farm they're doing in the middle of like desert thing. It might be gold hunting. It looks like they're doing some type of mining, but who knows? I don't know what it is.
I don't know what kind of farm that would be.
Yeah, Lucent, Utah, $20,000 reward. It gives he's 5'10", 160 pounds. It gets see here. Candace Rounds' mother told East Idaho News she believes her son was taken, and he did not leave his place willingly. Rounds' boots have been found by his camper behind a dirt pile on the property near Utah-Nevada border. She added, Cooley told the local outlet police found the boots within the first hour and a half of the Rounds being reported missing on May 30th. Where his grain truck was parked, his boots were about 100 yards south behind a pile of dirt, just casually tossed out. So I guess they do get grain out there, grow grain of some sort. And that's all we have pretty much about him. We will keep up with that case. This is another guy that's missing, white male. He had been in the Marines at this time. Let's see here. Salt Lake City Police Department in Utah, from his mother, our 29-year-old son, Cornelius Slag, nicknamed Casey, is missing from Salt Lake City area, and we need your help to get him home safe. We are looking for information from anyone who has seen Casey or his car since June 5th, 2021, or 22 rather, I'm sorry, or had recent communications with him directly, so we can do what we can to get him home safe. He was last heard from on Sunday, June 5th, 2022, around between 4 and 6 p.m. His car is silver Suzuki SX4, was found in a remote area of Summit County, Utah, near the Wyoming border. The license plate EO68FE, or Echo 068 Foxtrot Echo, was missing when the car was found. Casey's graduated from Jordan High School, Utah, in the class of 2010. Jordan High School joined the USMC, United States Marine Corps, September of the same year. He graduated from MCRD Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego and Charlie Company Platoon 1043 on December 17, 2010. Afterwards, he was attached to the 31st MEU 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit in Okinawa for 2 years, and then the 2nd Supply Battalion until he served 4-year contract in 2014. He worked in Alta Ski area 4 seasons in a skier service department, and had summer job and seasonal work in Salt Lake City watershed, Salt Lake City Department of Utilities. He's also a ranger with the watershed since 2019. If you've seen Casey or his car or had any contact with him after Sunday, June 5th, 2022, please contact Detective Hanson. So, I mean, this guy shows I think a lot of times his mother has put all this stuff in there to show it's not the type of guy that just abandons ship and runs off at the first, just because he didn't like whatever he's doing. I think it just shows that he left, either was something happened to him, or he left of its own accord, maybe has some type of, I don't know.
Have you heard about Harmony, Montgomery? That is, they have searched the refrigerator among other things. Somebody asked, what do you think about this?
Let's see.
Well, I'm trying. They've searched the home of the family. It's in New Hampshire. Oh, I remember that little girl.
Oh, that's a pretty little girl.
She disappeared between November 28th and December 10th, 2019. Police did not learn of her disappearance for more than 2 years. Remember that one?
Yeah, that I'm sure that whoever the family was had some type of involvement in that case. You can't, your kid disappears for 2 years and you don't call the police,
At the time of her disappearance, Adam Montgomery had legal custody of Harmony. He had been indicted on an assault charge alleging he struck Harmony in the face on July 2019.
Things like that. It sounds like that maybe he accidentally did something to her and then he took care of the body. But, just like that serial killer that was out there, and if you remember, it was several years ago on the Appalachian Trail, they had some nut out there. He killed a couple of people out there on that trail, and I think he attacked somebody else, and they actually subdued him until they could get the Rangers to come out there, either knocked him out or did something. But I wonder all the time. Whoops, sorry about that. What the heck? I wonder all the time, these people that go hiking and then disappear without a trace, you've got to wonder if they were they stumbled on something being done illegal, or they stumbled on somebody that was there to do harm to people hiking. I can't imagine that you go up into an area to want to see the sights and turn around and get killed because you stumbled onto somebody that's what they're there for.
But on any given day in America, the FBI says there's 25 serial killers loose.
Yeah, most of them are not in national parks. You think about this, how many people visit national parks every year? It's like 30, 40 million people visit national parks every year. So it would
clusters.
Be right, but it would be hard.
I disagree, because we saw that
take
program.
Another look at the girl.
Look, we saw
Tijae Baker too.
We saw that program last night, and there's clusters, and especially in California.
No, they're clusters of people that have went missing in national parks, but it's because you consider this: there are 20-some million people visit national parks. If you have a few hundred people missing in that's not very many, considering how many people.
It would be if it was your daughter.
Sure, but I'm talking about statistically speaking. And remember, we are always remembering Michael Monkey, Joseph Vaughn,
Summer Wells.
We know that this one is an abduction. They've got pretty much proof that it is, but we don't know on Summer Wells. I have my own thoughts about that case, and they say that the parents passed polygraph. I don't know if that's true or not.
I didn't think they did. Amber says, speaking of national park, it's horrible. It's sad what's happening in Yellowstone. It really is. We had talked about after we go to Minnesota and North Dakota and South Dakota to go down there, but
yeah, we were wanted to go. Look, Yellowstone is unbelievable national park. It is 22 million acres. I think that's what they said. They have a road that circles the park inside, and it really takes you about 2 or 3 days to drive that whole road because of all the stuff you see around it.
Yeah, it looks like that a lot of the roads are out. The one
They
that
said
goes
the one
around
that goes in the north entrance. I'm wondering if the west entrance of
West Yellowstone. Yeah, we want to know how West Yellowstone's doing.
yeah, we've always kind of loved that little town.
That's where we wanted to go and do some work camp.
Work camping there. We were there in June one year, and it actually snowed on us. Not very much, but we did get cold weather. I mean, it was never warm when we were there. Not at all. I wore a jacket all the time. And then I'm wondering how the Grand Tetons south of there fared too, because
They're just 60 miles away.
it was basically the Yellowstone River that caused most of those problems. But they've had all kinds of stuff wash out and everything. I think, was it Tijae or Beach Bum or somebody sent me an email on about a big human trafficking sting that there was involved.
Hey, inside voice. Inside. Maggie, inside.
I read it, but
Inside.
I don't remember exactly
Inside.
which one, where it was at.
Inside. Amber, it's one of our favorite places too. What is your problem?
And when you think about that, Yellowstone, the whole part being
Listen,
closed,
do you
it's
need to go
amazing.
outside? Okay, they got to go. Come on, I'll take y'all. Come on.
Okay, well, then it's going to take the girls out for a minute.
Let me find my Come on, let's go. Oh my goodness. Let's go. We got to go. When we got to go, we got to
Yeah,
go.
Yellowstone. I tell you, where I'm wondering is if anybody been there. You know, there's a pull off. It's on the road. If you're going north on the road, it's on the left. Going south, it's on the right. But they call it Little Grand Canyon, and then they have a big apologize for the buffing. I can't wait to get in an area where the satellite, I have free, clear satellite all the way up and not being blocked by trees. I'm not aware of that today. I have not read any of it. I will look at it though and let you know next time. If that is the girl that's been missing a couple of years, they didn't even report him a couple of years. It's going to be difficult for them to find him. I'm anxious for the district attorney's office in Colorado to search those places that they said that they had in mind that they believe Suzanne Morphew's body is hidden. I'm anxious for them to get a crew together and get out there and start I don't know. My thoughts on Summer Wells is that I think they need to start looking closer to home. Um, you know, if anybody saw that area where their house is, um, it's not like you would just accidentally drive by their house. They tell there's been several people up there, and they described that they have a gate lock gate. They have to intentionally drive. You have to know that area and intentionally drive up there. And the canine, I just believe that there's, with everything that's happening, and now the parents are not cooperating with. They've said they have not cooperated with law enforcement. That that this is just my opinion. I think they ought to be looking closer to where she lived. I think that somebody up there knows, either a relative or some. I believe it's somewhere closer to the family that's involved in this. I may be wrong, though. I mean, that's just my opinion. But, I've heard that a followed the trail all the way to a road next door to him. But I can't get that if that's absolutely true. Um, I'd like to see the AK's spreadsheet. That'd be awesome. Um, well, Free Society, I don't think so, because she is missing. She was living there. Um, she's not just an invisible person. She is a true living. She was a true living little girl that so many people had seen and knew she lived there, and now she is no longer living there and she's somewhere. I believe that if they did not polygraph the mother and father, they need to. Um, this has gone way longer than I thought it would go. I honestly thought that they would have been on arrest within the first 6 months after her disappearance, but no. I don't know any of the case, that's really going on up there. Uh, you think law enforcement is lying that they have cooperated? Well, they semi-cooperated, with everything you've seen on the internet for the first little bit, but now they say they're not cooperating. Why would they have a reason to lie? Why would law enforcement have a reason, Lori? I mean, is it Lori? I guess it is Lori. Why would they have a reason to lie? I mean, they want to get that child back, but why would they have a reason to lie about non cooperation? I don't know.
Somebody wants to know your thoughts on Summer Wells' disappearance.
I know we talked about
Okay,
that
sorry.
while you were outside. I have my thoughts are that without knowing anything about the actual law enforcement, I mean, see, me and you can sit back here behind the screen and we can say, I can go to my experience, 33 years in law enforcement, and say, if it was my case, I would have done this, this, and this. But I don't know what the cops at the scene know. I don't know what the case guy knows. I don't have his. If I had her file in front of me where I read all the investigator's notes and I read the case report and I read any type of federal investigation or possible polygraphs, then I could form a really solid opinion on what I thought was involved. But because I don't have any of that, it's just conjecture, really. Well, I hope that they do find Suzanne's remains. I personally don't think she's alive, and if they find her remains, maybe they'll have enough evidence at that time to prosecute uh, her husband for the crime, which they said they have enough evidence now, but they want to. nothing. I've heard they cooperated some, but I don't know that they've done complete interviews, one-on-one interviews, not together, and then offered a full polygraph by an FBI polygraph examiner, or that they've had agreed to hypnosis or any other stuff like that. I don't know that they've really cooperated or not. Because, like I said, I'm not there. I'm not one of the investigators. I do believe that she is no longer there. I don't, you know, listen, there's way too much law enforcement involved to keep some type of conspiracy secret. Way too many law enforcement. And I tell you one thing about law enforcement, it's hard for them to keep a secret. And he's talking about the money making scam. Are you talking about the are you talking about GoFundMe to help for rewards, or what are you talking about, the money making scam? Looks like
I know, it looks like a beer. I'm drinking.
She drinking root beer.
I'm drinking this is one of the best root beers I've ever tasted. I put it in the freezer and get ice in it, and then I drink it. And y'all, it only has 10 carbs compared to A&W's 65.
And I drank a zero, A&W zeros. They have 0 carbs.
I've never liked root beer, but that is the best. Y'all need to look at it. Summer West is a hoax.
Well, you say that, but what are you saying? You're saying it's really not disappeared? That one of the kids possibly could be her? Or are you saying that has fooled the FBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and the local sheriff's department? You said that's what they fooled all of those professional people?
It's Freeside said all involved in the SDA though.
Because the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the FBI they're top notch investigative people. I don't know anything about sheriff's department. They're a small sheriff's department's all I know. All involved in the SDA.
I don't know what SDA is.
What is the acronym for? 7-day advantage, maybe you thinking?
Did she not exist at all? Free Society, somebody says?
Believe me, she did. YouTubers, the Churchill Fund, and the Marathon. YouTubers, if you're talking about YouTubers making any money off of it, you were welcome to go over to Social Blade. It's a website called Social Blade. Go over there and put my YouTube name in, or any YouTuber's name in, and they'll tell you how much they make a month. And I think we're making about $19 a month right now on this particular channel, right now, if we're making that.
I don't think we are.
About $19 a month.
All reported by Enchanted Life Path. Amber Alert was put out 8 days after she went missing. That's because they didn't believe
they didn't think
she'd been abducted.
I don't think she's been abducted either. That's just my opinion. I have never, the only GoFundMe page that I have seen is the one for the reward. I didn't know they had several others. But if you ever want to know what a YouTuber makes, go to the website Social Blade and put the name in there on the little thing. It's 100% free, and it will tell you how many subscribers they have, a bunch of information, and then it also tells you how much they make a month and a year. And it's some people make millions of dollars on YouTube, and some people like me don't make hardly any.
I think she's saying yes, 7-day Adventist.
I don't know anything about how the 7-day Adventists work. I'm not familiar with that religion.
Lori, we're not worried about the money. We do it just because we enjoy putting people's names out there. They're sometimes left behind because they're not the,
We're not.
People get focused on one person, like when Scott Peters' wife disappeared. They got focused on one person when all these other people were missing too. It's not that she wasn't important. She was 8 months pregnant. She was important, but there's a lot of people who are important, and their families can't seem to capture the country's,
And you know what's weird is, the guy that killed his 2 kids and his wife.
Oh,
Chris Watts. He is filing an appeal. Now I don't know how he can ever hope to get out on appeal when he has admitted on camera what he did to his little girl. Unbelievable.
I don't know how he could do it.
Who did a fundraiser for summer reward fund. It went on for days, but they deleted the stream, so that seems sketchy. Yeah, that is sketchy. I don't know anything about that.
Okay, T.S. Talking in just a few minutes, I know, because it's almost 8. I want to tell you, at the beginning, you said your air conditioner was messing up, and I told you to go lay hands on it. I know that people will think I'm crazy, but I can say without a doubt, we had a tractor when we were in our early 20s. We had a farm.
Thanks, Sadie. I appreciate it.
We had a farm in our early 20s, and Tommy had a tractor, and he couldn't get it to start. His dad, my dad, and Tommy worked on it for about a week. And finally, my dad said...
I agree, Lori.
My dad said, he said, if this doesn't fix it, then there's no way to fix it. And so you're just going to have to get another tractor. So they tried it. It didn't work. So on the way home, Tommy tells me, we're going to probably have to spend about $3,000 to get another tractor to feed the cows with the hay and stuff that we don't have any choice. And when we got home, as I was going to sleep, I told God, I said, God, you created the man, created that tractor. So I know you know what's wrong with it. I'm asking you send your angels tonight to fix this tractor because we don't have the money for another tractor. The next morning at 7 o'clock, the phone rings. Promise to God, this is the truth. The phone rang, and it's Tommy's daddy, and he's yelling into the phone, hey, how do you cut this tractor off? I got it started, but I can't turn it off. And we never had another minute's trouble out of that tractor.
That was back in
the 80s.
Yeah, it was a long time
84, ago. We'd gotten Mindy.
Man, we were part-time in farming too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's been several times I went out and laid hands on our air conditioner in our 1925 house because I just knew it was going out, and I laid hands on it, and God has fixed it so many times.
And a coffee maker yesterday.
Yeah, and our coffee maker goes out yesterday, and it would not work. And I tried everything I knew to do, and then I thought, what am I doing? I'm breaking my brain about this. So I just laid hands on it and I prayed for it. Tommy looked over at me like I was crazy. But I went to put some more water in it later last night just to, maybe it might work. And it worked. And it's been working ever since. So God tells us in his word that he cares about everything that we care about. And a coffee maker is not a child missing. I understand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just that our God is a big God that can handle all of our prayers. And so I've told my kids, if you get a paper cut, God cares. So, you know.
Well, Free Society, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, huge scam. I'll tell you what I would do. If you want to email me and let me know what you're talking about, if you don't want to talk about it here, I would be much appreciate to read it and keep it confidential. I don't know what you're talking about, so it's impossible for me to understand that or even comment on it. But anybody wants to email us, our email is themissinglivestream@gmail.com, themissinglivestream@gmail.com, and I promise you I'll look into it. And I'll be honest with you, I still have a lot of friends in the federal government that work for the FBI. I've got friends who work for ATF and also for U.S. Marshals. And, I don't call them just to report any little thing. And I still have a lot of friends in law enforcement. If I think they need to, I will call them, though. I've called the FBI on the Leah Cabot case on some information that we gathered on this program about her being disappearing down in Florida. And I did call them. It turned out not to be the good information, but at least I called and talked to the guy, and it was checked out. So,
Yeah, every morning I get up, I do my Bible reading, and then I go and watch Life.Church on YouTube. And what I did was I went over to his videos, and then I went over and I sorted them to the oldest so I could start. And so I went back 7 years, and I've been listening to his sermons. He has some of the most fantastic sermons. I just finished a 3-part series this week called Ghost of Christmas Past, and it's 3 parts. Amazing preaching. He is just, if you get a chance,
he's very
check
funny
him out.
guy too.
He's very funny, but he's very down to earth. There's nothing fancy about him. They've got churches all over America, and he's just, I don't know. I've sat under quite a few preachers, and he would be one of, I would say, the second most powerful preacher I've sat under. The first being Steve Hill.
How come my thing's not charging? Did you
unplug
it?
Maggie may have.
Maggie unplugged it. Well, I'm going to have to go because I have my computer here is not charging, and Maggie was over there with her nose up and down around trying to find her ball, and this thing would just go blank when it runs out of battery. And it is right up here. It is showing. Let's see. 27%, but that 27% will not last very long when you're live. For whatever reason, it really runs out the batteries.
Lori Ann said, I wonder whatever happened to the man Warlock associated with Leah Cabot.
Oh, he's in jail. He got charged with destruction of evidence and a whole bunch of other stuff, kidnapping. But listen, kidnapping in Florida is probably will get you a stiffer sentence than just killing somebody. If say you got out here and shot somebody and killed them in an argument, kidnapping is 50 years. They get 50 years. I doubt very seriously if he'll be getting out of jail. Hopefully he can be charged with a federal crime, though, because I read a big article, and that most states like this, there's a good time law in most states. That means for every day you do, you get 2 days of good time. So you do basically a 30-year sentence. So if you sentenced to 45 years, you'll do 15 years. If you're sentenced to 50 years, you do like 17 years, something like that. If you do good time, and that means no problems while you're in prison, and no try to escape, or you don't kill anybody when you're in jail.
Fall in love with the guard.
Well, anything, If you don't, then perhaps you can get a good time thing. 2 for 1. That may be. Now I'm not sure of this because I know a guy's in jail 70 years right now, and what he got was he had 20 years and 20 years and 20 years and 15 and 75 years, 70 years, but he got them to run consecutive. So I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, I think he's in jail, and I don't think he will
I
get
know
out.
somebody that's in jail for 1,000 years.
I don't know him personally, but he got sentenced in Alabama
Oh, I
for
know him
1,000
personally.
years.
I've met him. He
have
came
you?
to our house in Orange Beach.
He came to our house?
Yeah, with our friend. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't,
He sure
with
did.
what? With who?
We'll talk later.
Okay. Well, he's doing 1,000 years right now for he's a child predator. We didn't know it. We didn't know it for a long time.
Well,
All
we
right.
met him one time.
Yeah, one time. Thank God he wasn't around our kids. But anyway, we will see you next week. We are live on Wednesday nights now with our other channel. We're doing a live, trying to build up our hours on that channel and build up some subscribers, which we have. And also, we do put out a Sunday video on our other channel also. I'm not too sure what tomorrow we're talking about. There's really no telling because tomorrow is supposed to be bad weather. But
So why don't you do the video of me showing them?
well, I might, if it's real bad weather, we may do a video tomorrow. But that is our channel. Our other channel, our one that we live in an RV, and that is our channel.
Come join us.
Yeah, come on over.
1 mile at a time.
And if if we don't have a video tomorrow, a live stream tomorrow, we'll have a little video. But I anticipate a live stream at 8 o'clock Central Time.
Night, TS. When you talk to Beach Bum, tell her we said hey.
God bless.
Bye.
Wait a minute.